Hey, what's up guys? In this video we're gonna make a sloped edge section using CSS click path property, and this is gonna be the whole thing. So we just have a div in here, cut it in the left to give us this layout. Okay, so let's get started. I just have an HTML file and a CSS file and an image. From here I brought it from the internet. So let me just start with the HTML. The first thing is going to be the type, an exclamation mark, and then hit tab, and it gives us this boilerplate from Emmet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just link the CSS. Alright, style.css, change the name to sloped edge section. Right. Okay, and that's it for the head section. Okay, now we're just gonna set a couple of lines in the HTML part because we're not gonna have a huge content going on in the markup. So the first thing would be a container in which we're gonna have to reserve a div for the content, which is going to be like so, content. And the other one, okay, this is gonna be empty for now, and the other one is gonna be reserved for the image, and this one, yeah, I'm gonna call it image box. Okay, and that should be it. Now both of them should be empty. It doesn't have any text going on in here. So this is the whole markup, and now let's just go ahead and start styling it. Alright, so the first thing in CSS would be the global selector, which is called by the asterisk symbol. So let's take this guy, and I'm gonna give it a margin of 0, excuse me, and the padding again would be 0. And there's something else, which would be the box sizing. So I'll set the box sizing property to border box, which allows us to include the padding and border in the border in an element's total width and height. So let's say box sizing, box, okay. And we'll take the body, and we're gonna just set the overflow X to hidden. And what this does, it get rid of the horizontal scroll bar. Okay, so we're gonna be using a bit of CSS flexbox to set the width and center horizontally and vertically the elements we have in our markup. So we'll just start with the container, and we'll set the display, as I said, to flex, and set the height to 90 view height. Then we're gonna use this thing, align items to center. This makes the items vertically centered. Okay, and the other property would be justify content, and again set it to center. And with this one we will achieve the horizontal alignment, and we'll set the background to light black somehow. Okay, now we save, get this dark screen. Right, so this is some simple stuff, basic styling. Now I'll get into the content div. So I'll say content, and I'll first give it a flex value of 40%. So let's say flex 40%. And what this does, this is basically just like the width property, but since we're using CSS flexbox, we better use its toolkit. Okay, and this makes the code cleaner and a bit elegant than the other one. Okay, then I'm gonna give it a height of 90%, and that's it for the content. Okay, now the next div, which is the image box, we'll take the rest of the container's width, and this would be 60%, I think. Okay, so flex 60%, and we're gonna give it the same height, 90%. All right, this one will have a background image, so I'll set the background to URL network.png. Okay, Now if we save, that's it. Now you can see that the network, let me just show you how the original image looks like. So this is how it looked like in here, and this is there. Now we can just give it a property to cover the whole space. So to do that, we're gonna set the background size to cover. Okay, now if we save, you can see that it gets a bit smaller and it fits the container, its image box. All right, now what's next? All right, now in order to achieve this sloped edge thing, we're gonna use the clip path property to make a trapezoid shape. So let's do it. I'm gonna just first set the clip path, and I'm gonna use the polygon shape. So we're gonna need to set a total of 4 points. And to begin, I'm gonna go straight to the right side by 25% of the image box width without moving up or down. And that's the first point. Okay, so for the next one, we'll jump to the end of the div. So this will be 100%. But remember, we should set the y-axis, okay? That's wrong. Alright, that's it. Whenever you want to draw a shape, bidimensional shape, you should set a couple of attributes which are the x for the x-axis and the y-axis. Now this is the first line. It starts from the end of the first quarter of the div, and it ends up by hitting the right extremity. So it's kind of pretty straightforward. Alright, now the third point will be located at the bottom right corner of the div. So it will have a value of 100% for both x and y axis. So then the last point will return to the left side. So we'll give it 0% for the x-axis and 100% vert. Now if we save this, this is the whole result. Okay, it's pretty much the same thing, except we have set here the height to 100 VH, but in here we set it to 90 VH, so we just need to change this to 100. Okay, so it gets the same height. Alright, that's it. That's one way of how you can make a sloped edge div using clip path property. Okay, by the way, if you want to save your time, you can just use this website called Flippy. It has a bunch of different shapes using clip path. You can see that they have a collection of simple shapes to something more complex, like say, for example, this one, this right children, maybe, or rabbit, or got like frame, got all kinds of stuff, and you can customize your own polygon shape. I mean, I actually use this service frequently. I don't want to mess with something for like minutes or even more when I can achieve the same result in seconds, so highly recommend it. Okay, thanks for watching and see you later. Sorry for the raspy voice.